Democratic Socialists scored another primary victory, this time in Colorado's first congressional district, which covers a good deal of Denver. Challenger Melat Kiros defeated longtime Democratic Congresswoman Diana DeGette, who had served in Congress since being elected in 1996. Joining me now, your friend and mine, CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto. Anthony, what is interesting about that race in Colorado District 1?
How are you, Major? And you can see no touchscreen tonight. We're doing this MTV Unplugged style.
There we go. There we go.
So, although I'm lousy at guitar. Look, the first thing you notice is this is happening in cities. You just mentioned we watched last night Colorado's first. That's Denver. A week ago, we were talking about New York and New York City and the same idea. Why is that? Well, first of all, you've got the kind of coalition that these kinds of candidates are drawing, which is you've got younger people. You do have more affluent districts. You've got more educated districts we're talking about here. And what's going on? Well, you've got high growth areas. You've got housing as an issue. All of those are commonalities in this. So link that then to what you mentioned at the top, this idea of socialism. Now, the polling nationally tells you that most Democrats do say they have at least a favorable view of what they see as socialism. Most Democrats say they would like to see the party at least incorporate some of those ideas. But I would add then when you follow that up and say, what does that mean to you? Many times they say, well, it just means fairness in their view. Now, detractors, and we're certainly going to hear a lot from them, Republicans are going to talk an awful lot about this, no matter how many DSA candidates win. The detractors describe it as being too reliant on the federal government, among other things. But that's the larger context here when you talk about where this is happening and also what socialism means to them.
And there's a theme emerging, Anthony, about restiveness in the Democratic activist base, which has led to some Democratic Socialist of America victories. Colorado also had two other races, one for governor, the Democratic nomination, and one for Senate. Different results. John Hickenlooper stayed, was a 74-year-old trying to repel, and he did successfully, a perceived progressive, agitated challenger. Michael Bennet, a sitting senator seeking the gubernatorial nomination, lost to someone perceived as more of a fighter and more progressive.
Well, let me pick up on two things. One is Hickenlooper, when you see the vote patterns, did well every place except Denver. So in some sense, that's going to be part of the argument for what you might call the more moderate wing of the party, which is to say they need to appeal beyond just the urban base. The second part of this, though, is that anti-incumbent feeling that you see both on the left and the right. For many, there's plenty of Democrats, and they tell you in the national polling, they want to see candidates that look like they're going to fight, whether that's against the current president, whether that's for a different kind of policy. That kind of affective approach, which is a little bit harder to quantify, but certainly is meaningful to a lot of these primary voters, Major.
Anthony Salvanto does not need a guitar because he sings the song of data and politics as well as anyone. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, buddy.